I'm an Eisenhower Republican and a Bernie Sanders Democrat. Of course, we know what Eisenhower thought of the military-industrial complex. Of course, we didn't pay any attention to him, and now we spend um, 6 times as much money as the Chinese for defense, and apparently we're still afraid. Eisenhower hated war. Bernie Sanders says 2 wars are enough. Eisenhower said the problem in defense is how far you can go without destroying from within what you are trying to defend from without. Today, we're number 1 in billionaires, number 1 in childhood poverty in the industrialized world. Sounds like we're being destroyed from within. Eisenhower said this world of ours must avoid becoming a community of dreadful fear and hate and be instead a proud confederation of mutual trust and respect. Bernie says when we stand together, we will always win. When working families stand together, we win. Cheating a little bit here, Ronald Reagan said it was unfair that the rich were not being taxed as much as the poor people. Bernie says the billionaires of America are on a warpath. They want more and more. In 2007, the top 1% of income earners in the U.S. made 23.5% of all income. That's more than the bottom 50%. But for the top 1% in America, that apparently is not enough. Eisenhower said every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies, in the final sense, a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, from those who are cold and not clothed. This world in arms is not spending money alone. It is spending the sweat of its laborers, the genius of its scientists, the hopes of its children. This is not a way of life at all in any true sense. Under the cloud of threatening war, it is humanity hanging from a cross of iron. Bernie says the national debt was primarily caused by the war in Iraq. Huge tax breaks for the wealthy and big corporations. George Carlin says it's disgusting, man. Disgusting that people still make the argument that we can never cut defense, but we can cut education. Who's really going to invade the U.S.? The only country that could invade America is America. We can afford to cut defense. We can't afford to cut education. We cut education, in 50 years we'll be so stacked with idiots with shitty jobs that we won't have enough money to pay for defense. I think that's starting to happen. I think it's been happening. Eisenhower said anybody that would try to abolish Social Security is foolish. He actually said they're stupid. Bernie points out that Social Security is funded by people out of their own pockets. It doesn't contribute to the deficit. In fact, the federal government borrows from Social Security, and there's 2.6 trillion of IOUs sitting in the Social Security account. Hopefully our government will honor those IOUs. Eisenhower said the problem in defense is how far you can go without destroying from within what you are trying to defend from without. Childhood poverty, we're number 1 in the civilized world. I'm an Eisenhower Republican and a Bernie Sanders Democrat. Reagan wasn't so bad either.